Are you prepared to be rich? Are you prepared? Do you know what it's actually going to take? Do you know the process of what is required to actually experience the financial abundance that you see some of the other people that have already experienced it? Have you actually considered what it's going to take, right? Are you prepared to study? Are you prepared to work your 40 hours a week and then go home on your days off and then in your evenings and then study, right? Are you prepared to exert your mental faculties? Are you prepared to study for hours to learn what you need to learn, right? And then not only that, are you prepared to actually go in and implement what you learn, right? It's difficult to not only study, right? Because it requires you to use your mind, right? Like when you go to work, you don't really need to use your mind that much, right? Yeah, you might be physically tired, right? You may be on your feet all day. You might, be carrying a lot of weight, or, lifting heavy objects or whatever the case is. But are you actually prepared to go home after a day of that, right? And use your mind and study and read and learn and then implement, right? And then obviously struggle, right? Like in the beginning, if you're learning something, there's a good chance, doesn't matter how much you absorb, because if you don't implement it and you don't test it and see, or if you don't make mistakes and do the wrong thing, then how are you going to know what you're reading it or studying is going to work for you, right? So, the high income that you desire, whether that's a skill that you need to learn or a business you want to grow or an investment strategy that you want to learn, just realize that that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot of time. And then also, like, if you guys have friends, like some of you guys, I don't have, to be honest with you, I didn't have too many friends that I had to worry about when it comes to this. But, a lot of people have friends that, they spend weekends and evenings with, later in the week towards the weekend. Are you prepared to potentially cut that off, right? Are you prepared to tell your wife or your girlfriend, hey, this is something, what I'm doing right now, or what I'm learning, or the career that I'm going down, the career path that I'm going down, it might require me for a set period of time to sacrifice Friday and Saturday night or whatever, a couple nights a week on the weekends, right? Are you prepared to deal with that? Are you prepared to, get off your 9 to 5 while your wife or girlfriend's at home and you want to spend the night with her on Netflix or, watching movies? Are you prepared to sacrifice that time and go out and work, right? Work extra hours or spend more time, studying, right? Like, these are the questions you have to ask yourself and really be prepared for, right? Because I think a lot of people who fail, or not fail, or just give up, or, maybe they go down the process and they're at it for 6 months, maybe they're struggling and they finally just throw in the towel and say, you know what, this isn't for me. I just don't think they're fully prepared for what is actually required, right? Like, I think a lot of people think that, like I can just, do what like, for example, like I can just go home, right, work my job, and then not have to do anything else on the side, right? And not have to struggle, right? Like, for example, you could upload a whole bunch of YouTube videos, right? And think, yeah, man, my channel's just gonna start to grow and become better, without actually realizing, like, no, I have to become a better speaker. No, I actually have to understand different subjects and connect the dots and, convey the message so that my audience is engaged with what I'm saying. Like, that's just but one example, right? So I think, most people aren't prepared for it. And I think that the reason why a lot of people just give in and throw in the towel is because of that, right? Like they're of this mindset that it's supposed to be simple and easy, but in reality, right, like it requires a lot emotionally from you and mentally, right? Like I said earlier in this video, like going to work and lifting heavy objects, that's hard work, right? Like I'm not saying that that's an easy path either, but the path of like building a business or learning how to write or learning how to speak or learning how to sell, learning how to day trade, learning how to swing trade, learning how to do things that require a lot from you mentally and emotionally, those are the things that are really difficult, right? There's a saying, I forget who said it. I think it was either Carl Jung or Henry Ford. It was one of the two, but they said that like thinking is one of the hardest things to do. That's why most people just don't do it. So, thinking and learning and being able to use your mind and really, utilizing all of your mental faculties that God has given you outside of, just laboriously, going to work on autopilot and just doing what you need to do and going home. I think that's one of the most difficult things that most people aren't prepared for, right? Like the amount of mental energy that you have to exert to really develop yourself and learn and read and write and learn how to speak and learn how to not only do those things, but also learn how to experience setback and pain and emotional turbulence, those sort of things where things aren't going well. Maybe you've been able to study and learn and really internalize a lot of things, but once you implement what you learn, it's difficult, right? Or maybe you implemented it and you didn't get the result you wanted, right? And being able to sit with that, being able to experience the mistake or experience the disappointment of not not being not coming through on what you want to come through on. Maybe you fucked up on a trade, or maybe you didn't make a sale, or maybe you posted a YouTube video that didn't do well, and being able to not go to sleep and then do it all over again and learn and continue to sort of just reapproach what you're doing, right, with new technique or new information, right? That is what is difficult, and that's why I think a lot of people fail. Not only fail, but again, they start and they just throw in the towel because they don't realize what it actually takes. So I just want to sort of prepare you guys, right? Because the things that pay a lot, the things that, people who make millions of dollars, whether that's with investments or whether that's with a business or whether that's with, having employees or whatever, just realize not only is it going to take a lot from you mentally and emotionally, but it's going to take a lot of time as well. So just obviously, you have to be prepared to work outside of your 40 hours. I don't think a lot of people are really hitting home on that. Getting off work and telling yourself, okay, these next few hours, this is my time to really create the life that I want. This is the hours that if I don't execute on, I stay where I'm at, right? That's really what it comes down to. When you get off work, you have to tell yourself, if I don't utilize these hours that I have, these 3 to 4 hours that I may have outside of showering and eating dinner and brushing your teeth or doing whatever, right? If I don't utilize this time, then I remain a wage slave. I remain stuck in mediocrity, right? So I just want to sort of give this message to you guys because I care. I want you guys to really follow through on whatever you're doing. And it's easy to get upset, or it's easy to get disappointed. It's easy to make a mistake or not do well on something, and then just the next day wake up and be like, I don't want to do this shit, right? It's very easy to do that. So I want to encourage you guys to understand what it's going to take, understand that you will probably make mistakes, but you have to realize that making a mistake is okay. But obviously, making a mistake and then not willing to go down the path to correct it and then just throwing in the towel, that's the ultimate mistake. That's the mistake that keeps you stuck forever. So just realize that. And I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm gonna make this video. Today's Thanksgiving Day, so if you guys are around family, I hope you guys have some good time around your family, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.